I think we as individuals, both Black men and Black women, have to take accountability. Yeah, and I do data, I do census, I do surveys, and they can be skewed. And I'm going to look that up totally. And you know what we do? I have to look to see those people who did the study. If that study is peer reviewed.
You mean the United States? You mean the United States Census Bureau?
But what are you studying? What was the survey? You're pulling up something, but I feel like you just want to be arguing.
The United States Census Bureau.
Because it's a real big problem between men and women. You know,
you
and
the
it's
United
nothing
States
to really
Census
argue
Bureau?
about.
You mean the United States Census Bureau?
No, and those have to be peer.
You know, look, listen. Do you know how? Do you know how crazy you sound? I'm so glad you. I'm so glad you came to that.
That's
because you know what this shows. Do you know what this shows? Do you know what this shows?
Showing me the study.
Do you know
what is that?
This is not a study. This is census data. This is not a study. A study is, I'm going to take the first 10,000. Listen. Okay. Well, then if you knew what a study was, then we wouldn't be having this conversation now, would we? Now, I'm going to go ahead and mute you for a split second. If I was taking a study and I said, okay, I'm going to do a study on Black people. I'm going to take the first 10,000 Black people that I meet, and I'm going to ask them what color they see when I hold up this piece of paper. And I'm going to take whatever color they say they see. Do they see blue or do they see green? And I'm going to judge whether or not Black people are colorblind. That's a study. But when I have census data that says Black man, Black woman, Black man, Black woman, Black man, Black woman, and I check, and then I count the number, that's not a study. That's not a study. This is just the information. This is just what it is.
A census is a survey. A study is a survey. When you do a study, you do a receipt, a research, you collect data, and from that data,
the census is a count of who is in this country. This is our country is set up. The way that we spend money by Congress is set up by how the census data comes across. So if you want to argue the accuracy of the census, plus or minus 1 or 2 or 3%, if you look at the census data, it'll tell you that plus or minus 1 or 2 or 3%. But this is census data, meaning I didn't just pick up these numbers and be like, I feel like X amount of people are married and X amount of people are unmarried. What this shows is a drastic increase of unmarried Black women, where white women has stayed relatively the same between 10 and 5%. Unmarried Black women were stayed roughly around 5%. And now, as of we just saw, 50% of Black women are unmarried as of right now. That's what I was getting at. So for some women that think they're trying to say that they want to be married, y'all don't want to be married.
And you're not asking to be married. Men are not asking women to be married. So
why would I ask an argumentative woman to marry me?
Why would I ask an
argumentative woman to be married?
They're not quality.
What value is an argumentative woman?
They're not.
What value is an argumentative woman
who have the capabilities?
See, the interesting thing about this mute button, I hate to use it. But since I can't, you know what I'm saying? Like the law doesn't allow me to like put pause on you, right? And I'm not going to do that. I don't feel like I should do that. And I'm not going to yell over anybody because that would be rude. So the only way that I can even get this to where people can listen is if I mute you. And I don't want to mute you. I think that's like, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's like some kind of it's like a panelist, like internet kind of thing that you shouldn't do to other people. You shouldn't mute, you don't want to have to mute people, right? And it's kind of rude. So I don't want to mute you, but I have absolutely no problem muting you. We're not going to talk over each other. Now I'm going to allow you to speak here in a second because I would like to have your opinion and your insight. But I'm not going to ruin my broadcast and yelling and screaming over some lady that I don't know. So Cody, you want to add something while